What is happening, my friends? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, my friends, on today's conversation, I'm so excited to have a good friend of mine, journalist and radio personality, Winter Bond. Look, we're going to be talking about all things pop culture on today's show. As you know, I have spoken about previously in some episodes about a influencer, Dank Demoss. She's also a rapper. She considers herself a plus size influencer. She made headlines recently because she was trying to get in a Lyft. She had ordered a Lyft car to come pick her up, and the driver refused to allow her to give her a ride. Did I say that right? He refused to give her a ride. Yes. So it went viral. She recorded the whole interaction, and she is now suing Lyft as well as the driver for discrimination. Now, a lot of folks on social media are saying, "Look, she's a fairly large individual. Maybe the man was right. He could have said it better, but maybe it would have been a difficulty having her in the vehicle." Other side is saying, well, hold up. It was already wrong, the fact that he didn't even let her get in the car, and she acknowledged that, hey, I've been in this car before. I've been in a specific model, because it was a Mercedes Benz. So she's like, look, I've been in this model before. It's fine. Just let me in. So the debate is happening. Is it discrimination? Is, who's in the wrong, who's in the right in this thing? And I've shared my piece, but I'm going to share it with my friend, Miss Winter. And also later on in the show, we're going to talk about actor Jonathan Majors. He has a new film out called Magazine Dreams. Okay, Magazine Dreams is one of the first films. He's actually partnered with the Zeus Network. Now, Zeus is known for being kind of ratchet reality television. So this is kind of like them simmering down, working with the highly qualified, great actor who has, I wouldn't say been blackballed. Well, I guess you could say, because after, when it was allegations being brought against him from a previous relationship he was with, all endorsements, all job opportunities really, slowed down for him. So now he's coming back with the film, and a lot of folks are saying, hey, look, this might be the comeback season for Mr. Majors. And if we have any time, we're going to be talking about more of the DEI fiasco happening under this new administration, who is refusing to allow DEI programs to continue in corporations. They are, putting an end to DEI. And so many folks, public figures, are sharing their thoughts and responses on them ending those programs. So we're going to talk a little bit more on that. And yeah, we're just going to have a great time. As always, my friends, continue to support the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, we drop new episodes Monday through Fridays, available on all digital and streaming platforms, the streaming platforms of YouTube as well as Rumble. Okay, YouTube and Rumble. And then you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Odyssey, Apple, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. What else am I forgetting? What else did I already say? Spotify. And you can also check us out on our radio affiliate, WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk out of the metro Atlanta area. So you can tune into the program Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. as well as online at wdjyfm.com. So look, there's multiple avenues, multiple ways you can tune into the program. And before I move it on, I always have to thank you all, the listeners, the viewers out there who take the time out of your schedule. Look, you take 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. I truly appreciate that. We're continuing to grow the platform each and every step. We're slowly but surely rising in subscribers, listenerships, you name it. And we're just here just to give you great content, great conversation. That's mainly what it is. I'm having fun doing it. It's just great conversation. So I truly appreciate that. All right, look. Want to thank some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at The Full Package. That's right, my friends. Think you've got what it takes to be the next big star? It's time to prove it. The Full Package, the ultimate singing and songwriting competition, is finally here. That's right. Show off your voice, your lyrics, and your passion, whether you're a solo artist or part of a duo. This is your chance to shine and take the stage like never before. Auditions, you can check on availability for that on their website, thefullpackage.com. contest.com. And look, there are cash prizes, opportunities with this. You get to work alongside some of the heavy hitters in the music industry. And look, this is a show that I had the opportunity of serving as backstage host. Is dope. I highly recommend it. To check it out. Follow them on all their social media platforms. Just type in again the full package contest.com or full package contest VA on Instagram, and I believe YouTube as well. So want to thank them for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin show. All right, my friends, look, when we come back, we're going to have our special guest. Well, we're going to start off with our fun fact of the day as we do every show, and then we'll bring on our special guest, Miss Winter Bond. So do me a favor, my friends, do not go anywhere. You are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. I am your guy, Arrington Gavin. Look, let's get it going with our quick fun fact of the day. As we always love to do, a tradition here on the program. We like to just start a good conversation off with a quick fun fact. So on today's fun fact, did you all know that by 400 BC, Persian engineers mastered the technique of storing ice in the middle of desert summers? Did you know that? Quite interesting, because I'm like, wait a minute, ice, desert summers. How do you accomplish that? So it says here that Persian engineers mastered the technique using structures called yakashals. I hope I pronounced that right. That translates to ice pit in Persian. So look, says here was an essential large insulate domes where ice harvest during winter could be kept frozen throughout the hot summer months. This allowed them to cool food and drinks even in scorching temperatures. So you're welcome. As you know, always we love to do a quick fun fact ranging from all sorts of interesting topics. So let's get it going, my friends, with our wonderful guest. Let me see if she is backstage. I see is she all ready to go? I see her right there. Yep. She's like, yep, I am ready. All right, my friends. Well, as before I mentioned, dear friend of mine, accomplished journalist, expert in the world of pop culture. Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on our guest, Miss Winter Bond. What is good? What's good?
It's the hype for me. You made me sound all cool and interesting.
Because you are cool and interesting, Winter. You are cool and interesting,
Okay.
Winter.
Okay.
How are you doing, my
thank
friend?
Thank you kindly. I am doing good. It is a Sunday. It is cloudy outside, but the sun is inside, so we're good to go. It is also my birthday month, so it's going to be all vibes all day, all month.
Let's go. Happy birthday. February is a wonderful party month, so I know you're going to turn up all throughout this month. So happy early birthday. What exact day is your birthday on in February?
2/22. I'm all twos.
All twos. Okay. Well, that is dope. Well, look, thank you so much for spending your birthday month here on the show. Look, I want to get it going with some of these topics. First one I mentioned earlier is about this story about an influencer. Her name is Dank Demoss, DANK Demoss, and honestly, before this story, I never heard of this person at all. I'm actually let me pull up a quick a sound bite of her speaking on their local news, because with this incident that occurred, she has filed lawsuit against Lyft. She was going to be getting a ride. She had ordered a ride from Lyft, and the driver refused her. He's like, no, I'm just telling you, you won't be able to, get in this car. It's like, well, how do you know? He's like, I'm just telling you, I just don't know. And really, let me go ahead and play. I'll play the video first, and then we'll talk about it on the other end before I get the rant. Before I get the rant, let me go ahead and pull this up for you all. Hold tight. Here we go, y'all.
Have you been in cars that size before?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires,
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
Every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car.
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
You know what? I don't never have to order Uber XL.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough. Dank Demoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal, and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
All right, fam. So let me go ahead and come out of that soundbite. So, okay, Winter. What was your first initial thought? What was your reaction when you heard about this story?
So, I'm friends with a lot of different people. And this is something that has been on so many different timelines of mine, all the social media. I first heard about it and I was just like, okay, it as someone that also kind of minored in criminal justice, I'm not going to say it's easy to, file a discrimination suit, but it's kind of one of those things that's it's fairly easy to kind of, be like, oh, I was discriminated against because of, this, that, and the third. And it's something that it doesn't really resolve itself unless it's something that's out of court, or it's something that once you're in court, whatever side, whichever it is, dissolves. So me seeing this, I'm just like, okay, obviously there has to be more to it. It can't just be oh, he looked at her and was like, oh no, I'm refusing you service. Honestly, and it's gonna suck to say, but I see both sides. I honestly do. With the guy, him saying his tires, yes, cars are made to withstand a certain amount of weight, but that certain amount of weight is something that is in the hundreds, depending on the, the make and the model of the vehicle. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you saying, hey, I fit in cars like this before, that's like someone being like, oh yeah, I've fixed pipes and drains before. I'm not a certified plumber, but I just trust me. It's all down to just trust me. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if he's looking at, at the situation and he's thinking, he obviously weighed the risk, because that's not something that you can just say, I'm refusing you service and not expect there to be some kind of blowback, whether it be from the company or whether it be like this, a suit. Mm-hmm. So I honestly think he wasn't wrong, but he wasn't right either.
So I like what you said, and I couldn't agree with you more because I said somewhat similar things. Mm-hmm. I think what he did was wrong. Was okay. In our culture now, we live in a very overly sensitive culture. Everybody is in my opinion, gonna do anything they can to get an honest dollar to, to rally on a protest,
And that's
vice versa. It does. It really does.
It does.
I think what he should have done was, instead of him sharing his personal opinion, then just say, hey, look, come in the car. If she realized that, oh, this is very uncomfortable, oh, I'm having difficulties, then it can be proven to herself that, oh, wow, I really, I can't do it. Rather than him just before, like, not even opening the door, like the car was shut.
Yeah.
She was standing outside. He's like, I'm telling you ain't go. He's like, I'm getting confused because of the tire and and I don't mean to, laugh about this, but I thought it was interesting. She said, look, I've been in cars smaller than that. Okay, I've been in, and she probably did, but I also think,
yeah. But here's also the thing, though. You have to kind of consider, if say she does get into the car, she does spit in the car. I don't think in like any of the stories I've seen, it said like how far her distance was. So say halfway there, it does put a strain on the vehicle. It does, whether that's the engine, the tires, what have you. I don't know what the repercussions of that would be if there were any. But say that were to happen, he can't just go to the insurance company and be like, well, she said to trust her, because then that's something that's going to be a little bit difficult to have her, her and her insurance pay. So I mean, if he's thinking that side, I mean, like, it's always going to be a 50-50 chance of something going wrong on a ride that you're doing a ride service for, whether that's, the patron himself or it's something that happens along the way. I honestly think, like, the only logical thing I can think of is that's what he was thinking. Like, I can't just, go to insurance company and be like, well, she said that she's been in cars like this, in cars that were, smaller than this, but this happened on the ride. And that could be something that the insurance company is just like, well, no, technically you're still at fault, especially depending on the insurance that he does have. Because when you drive, I know in the state of Virginia, if you do rideshare, you have to have a certain insurance on the vehicle. So who even knows if that insurance will cover that? Because that's technically something that, like, he did refuse service.
Wow. You bring on a lot of great points. And see, I was so I guess unfiltered in a sense, and I'm not trying to fat shame anybody, but I feel as though like this is like a tough love reality check, because at the end of the day, 500 pounds, which I looked up, I was curious to, and I don't know how true it is, but I just looked up, okay, how much is, does she weigh? And to be exact, they said 498 pounds. So if she's, pushing 500 and weight, and her height is, 5'7", 5'8", that's not okay. So it's, in my opinion, this could be looked upon as tough love that she's not willing to accept, because at the end of the day, she's made, somewhat of a living being a plus size influencer. But I look back at a lot of plus size public figures like Monique or oh Lord, Lizzo. I mean, I'm just naming those two because they were always advocates of, hey, embrace your body, love yourself. But guess what? They also said, I need to lose some in order to be in order to be healthy. Now, Monique still considers herself a part of the big girl community. Likewise, Lizzo, but they speak facts when it comes to taking care of herself. Now, as far as coming back to this case, yeah, she probably was in a car smaller before, but I think that was probably years ago when she wasn't. I think that in my head. But
also, if you take her weight and then you take the weight of the person that's also driving, and then you also have to consider whatever that person that's driving has in their vehicle. They could know their vehicle just like people know their gas tanks and know how far they can drive on E. He might know how much his car can withstand, and that's fine. It's subjective. It sucks because it's subjective that you have to do that, looking eye and eyeballing it. But if you were to take, any standard kind of vehicle, because it was a sedan, that is something that I would have hesitancy in being like, I'm not sure. But here's also the thing that I'm saying, a lot of the media coverage, and I'm not saying like the written stories, I'm saying like the clip that you showed. A lot of them aren't saying that they're saying, yes, he did leave her there. He did, cancel the ride. They're not telling that he also refunded her. So it's not like she was out money. And honestly, if that was the case, I would be like, you know what, that sucks. Let me go ahead and order, what he says I should order, even though, I'm not, I've never had to, but that's something that I would still go ahead and do, but like not focus on the fact that, like he didn't shortchange me. He didn't like completely abandon me. He did give me a recourse, but at the same time, I would also feel some kind of way. But I don't think a discrimination lawsuit is the way to go about it. I don't think it was a case of discrimination. I honestly think he thinks he knows his vehicle and he wanted to protect himself rather than, take that chance. And that's just human nature.
Yeah, I will say, responding to her saying, I think you might need to get an XL is wild.
Like maybe let's not, present the solution in that way. But it was heat of the moment. We can't really be like, oh, I wouldn't do the same thing because we don't know what we do. But I honestly don't think it's a case of discrimination. I just think it's something he wanted to protect himself and his ride. And
my man said, "This is a Benz. I think you need to get an XL. Goodbye. I'll refer you. You're my no. Okay, now I'm over exaggerating. My bad. I can't help it. But you know what though? Winter, it does bring in a bigger conversation because stories like this is not foreign to the news or to just to the public. I remember a while back there was a lady who was asking airlines for accommodations for her size. They're saying, "Hey, look, I think you should give us a complimentary extra seat at no cost to make it more suitable for us, larger women, or excuse me, not women, but just larger people in general." And I'm not gonna lie, I was hot when I first heard that, and I was just like, because okay, plane tickets are extremely expensive, and you're telling me that they're getting a free, or they're asking for a free extra seat so they can fit comfortable. Why? Because okay, they have their addiction when it comes to not pushing a plate away. I mean, I hate to sound like that, but
here's the thing though. Like, you can't look at someone that's bigger and assume it's just because they have an issue with food. A lot of people have gland disorders where that's not something that they can help, or various types of disorders. So, and especially being from a family where plus size does run the family, but also not even just family, just demographic. As far as ethnicity wise,
Black community. Yeah,
I have seen situations where people that are close to me have paid for an additional seat, and like you said, flights are expensive. They are just now being able to put flights on Klarna, and once I find one that works for me, trust me, I will be utilizing the same exact payment method. But I don't think it's fair for them to have to purchase a whole additional seat, because it's even embarrassing to get onto the flight, get into the seat, and then ask for a seat extender. Like that situation itself it can be embarrassing. People can feel ashamed about it, but there's nothing that they can do about it at that moment. I don't feel like they should buy a whole additional seat. I understand, profit's got to profit, but there has to be something in the middle where I'm not shelling out two people just because, I have a gland disorder and I can't help the fact that, I might be, 300 plus pounds. I shouldn't, but there's also not a way that you can be like, oh, why is it that you're this size? So I definitely feel like there should be some kind of middle ground, not having people fork out an extra $300 each way just to be able to sit and fly comfortably so they don't have to drive for 18 hours instead of flying for 3.
Okay, Miss Winter. Okay, way to humble me. Okay, you're right. I get that. What you had just brought up, that was good. See, y'all, that's why I said she's a pro. This is why I run my mouth. I ran a little bit.
You're gonna learn. Those are my 2 favorite words. Is you're
right. Well, and those are my least favorite words. That's right there. Those are my least favorite words to say. Those are my least favorite words that you see. It's hard getting it out. Like I start this, you're the stuttering problem.
You got it. We'll work on it.
That's
by the
true.
end of the show, you will be singing it.
That is funny. Well, look, I truly appreciate your insight on that. Look, what we're gonna do, I want to take another commercial break, but before I do that, I always have to shout out some more of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin show, like our friends over at Hybrid Productions. That's right, my friends, looking to bring your story to life at Hybrid Productions. They don't just create videos, they craft experiences, whether it's commercials, music videos, documentaries, or corporate content. Your vision is their masterpiece, with cutting edge technology and creative team that pushes boundaries and a passion for storytelling. They take your ideas to the next level. From concept to final cut, they deliver results that captivate and inspire. So ready to make an impact? Go on and collaborate. Visit hybridproductions.com, or you can check them out on social media at Productions, Productions with a Z. And look, I've used them for many years on different projects, and Winter can vouch. We've both witnessed Hybrid Productions killing it in the game when it comes to creating content and helping small businesses and just folks that have an idea that wants to see it come to life. They're dope. So I highly recommend, again, Hybrid Productions. Winter, don't go anywhere. We're going to do a quick commercial break, kind of take a quick breather. Again, my friends, you are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show. Joining me is my friend, journalist, pop culture expert, the lovely Miss Winter. Don't go anywhere, my friends. We'll be back with more great conversations here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, I'm your host, your friend, your homie, Arrington Gavin. Do me a quick favor while you're tuning into the program. Look, follow us on our social media platforms. Follow us at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as Substack. Okay, Substack is like where I can go to. It's like my open diary where I vent off and just I go finger happy, and it's pretty dope. So I've had just a couple of things I've posted on there, so be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms. I truly appreciate that. As I mentioned before, I am joining with the lovely Miss Windstorm. That's right, journalist, pop culture expert, and just all around great person. And guess what, it's her birthday month, so she is are you sober with us right now? I'm just saying, once it start, are you good? Are you not turning up yet? No.
I mean, I did have 2 mimosas this morning.
Oh, okay. That means no, guys. That means no. Oh my gosh. Well,
no,
look,
I'm good right now. I'm good. I promise. I am great.
I don't have a problem. I'm fine. I'm good. Okay, I'm good. Are you good? I don't think you're good. No, I'm messing with you. Let's get it. I'm just fabulous. All right, let's get it going, y'all, with our second topic of the day. Look, I want to talk about actor Jonathan Majors. So for those who are kind of in a stuck in a bubble and not aware on what we're talking about, so Jonathan Majors has kind of been under hiding, kind of just laying low. I wouldn't say under hiding, but he's been laying low ever since he had the issues that happened in a previous relationship, where I mean, this man was at the top of his game. I mean, he was in one of the recent Creed films, which made tons of money. He was signed on to go on Marvel. He did a show called, I think, Lovecraft Country or Warcraft Country. I think it's Lovecraft Country. And he's just been killing it as far as in the Warcraft, and then he's just been killing it on the small and big screen, and very talented individual. But again, it took one incident involving a dispute between him and his, at the time, girlfriend or fiance, and there's videos to show and this and that, and it was nasty, man. It was nasty. Before, when allegations was brought to him, all of a sudden his agency, his PR firm, I mean, everybody that represented him, all his projects, they dropped, which a lot of folks are saying, wow, only to a black man, because it was allegations. Whatever happened, innocent until proven guilty, which really, it turned out he was pretty much an innocent guy. I mean, it was I would say it took two to tango in a sense like this. There were a video where he was running away from his previous lady, and she was chasing him. So obviously, to me, that looked like an innocent person. But I'll just say, when it comes to arguing and fighting and this and that, I mean, hey, it takes two to tango. So it was a lesson learned. He has since moved on from that. He's engaged to the lovely actress Megan Good, and now he is pursuing new projects and getting back in the limelight. And so recently he had he finished doing this film called Magic Dreams, which is like a bodybuilding autobiography kind of film. And this was filmed, I think, or this was created in 2023. So again, when all that stuff happened, that film was on the back burners, and the film was already created. It was just a matter on who was going to pick it up. And oddly, the network Zeus Network, and I've been very critical of Zeus because I'm a person where, look, I love seeing our people do great things when it comes to music, entertainment, you name it. I want to see black people win regardless. But I hate the fact that it's like, okay, one of the biggest money generating things to do for black people. Let me act like I can't say it right now for the sake of this, for the sake of the show and the audience right now, but you know what I mean. They show they tell on Ratchet, on Ratchet TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I'm not crazy about reality TV. I really don't like it, and I feel as though all you see is arguing, fighting, calling people out their name. I mean, it's disgusting. So when I heard that he partnered with them, I'm like, Jonathan partnered with Zeus, but then I'm like, Arrington, wait a minute. Black people helping black people out. I'm like, okay, you right, working together, you right. So I'm like, hey, look, I'm happy, and he has this new film that's they showed a trailer on social media, and so I'm just I'm interested with that. What do you have to say as far as the potential comeback season for Jonathan Majors?
So here's the thing. I am a Michael B. Jordan. I feel like stan isn't a big enough word. I've loved him since like Fantastic Four, right? Which everyone slammed and said was terrible. But did no one see Michael B. Jordan just doing the thing? So when it came out and they were, I think they were slated to do a movie together, and they were doing all this buzz and all this press, and they seemed like they were brothers, like publicity and the press were loving them and loving their chemistry. They were doing interviews together, matching the energy. It was great. And then all these allegations came out, and Michael B. Jordan has a great publicist, okay? Because as soon as those dropped, I didn't see anything that Michael posted with him, of him, not him like peeking in the corner with his eye like cut out the frame, nothing. So seeing all these allegations, I think what honestly happened, and I've seen all the recourse of people being like, oh, he's a black man, it was just allegations, there was no trial yet, everyone's dropping him, from Marvel, who of course now is with Disney, which giant conglomerate on its own. You have all these other deals that fell through that he got axed out of, that he was announced and then quietly erased from the picture. I honestly think that's because of all of the publicity and everything surrounding that Johnny Depp case, because a lot of people came out and were mad that Disney had replaced him with, any Pirates of the Caribbean projects moving forward. But you didn't really see a lot of stuff blaming him, and a lot of brands, leaving him, other than Disney, which I understand. Disney has this parent-friendly image that they have to protect at all costs, because it's a huge part of their commerce, of their media, of basically all of their plans. Like they are just now introducing, more mature content on their apps, and that they're partnering with. Like I know you hate reality television. I'm so sorry, Arrington. Kardashians are a guilty pleasure of mine, and I hate it. I do. I do. That is a show on its own where I will try to convince you of the benefits and the contributions that they have done to the society. Albeit they're not the greatest, but there are some. But Disney now has the Kardashians, like that's streaming on Disney Plus. So they've introduced a lot of mature content, but I don't think that they have done well when it comes to their people that are associated with them that have allegations like this. But like you said, it kind of came out that he was innocent, and I say that very lightly, because I'm an SVU fanatic. I believe the victim first, and we move towards that, as we need be, as evidence comes to light. But I come back on the Zeus channel. On Zeus, I call Zeus the bad girls club of reality television, because that's honestly all they have. I am not a fan of reality television when it comes to, like you said, all they do is fight, all they do is throw drinks, and then like they're friends 5 seconds later. That's so idiotic to me. Like I don't watch any of that. But honestly, Zeus is kind of a perpetuator of that. Like they exacerbate it, they put it in there. At least some of their wigs are better than a Tyler Perry movie, but honestly, they don't have that much going for them. So I mean, and I understand what you're saying. Maybe he's trying, help the brand out, put a big face to the name. But I honestly don't think of Jonathan Majors anymore. And which I know that when it came to the trial, and then all of a sudden he's with Megan Good, who I think was one of my great awakenings, because I used to love me some Megan Good. But then I remember when she broke up with her previous husband was a preacher, I think. Right.
Devin Franklin. So he was I'm gonna say it's like a certified man of the cloth, but he was mainly known for being like a movie producer and mostly like faith-based and like, family-friendly films. But
and I remember like when they were together, there was a lot of like comments about how she was having to tone down who she was because of who he was, and maybe he was controlling her. I don't know them people. I don't know what's going on behind their doors. But when you look at, her style evolution and stuff that she was attached to at the time, you could kind of see how that could be determined. But when they broke up and she's out, she's, as the kids say, back out on the streets. You saw her seem to be a little bit more free. So attaching herself to someone that has these allegations, not right before the allegations, but in the very midst of it, kind of had me giving her a look like, are we sure? Is this the best way? Like maybe she needs Michael B. Jordan's publicist. Who knows? But honestly, like if it's a comeback that he's wanting, sure, let's try Zeus at first. But I think there was maybe a better first step than this. But honestly, after those allegations, even if you're proven innocent, you're still kind of tainted by, you're going to Google your name and that stuff is still going to come up because the internet's forever, even if it's scrubbed. So it's just like, is this the best way for him to stage a potential comeback? Should there have been a different source that he could have did it? Like maybe we could have aimed for BET Plus. Maybe we could have started there. Zeus is not a network that I'm like, oh, let me see what's coming out on Zeus next month. It doesn't matter, because there have been plenty of notable stars that have done projects on Zeus or produced them or been in them. Jonathan Majors isn't someone that I'm going to be like, oh my God, let me go watch this right now and download it or buy it for $5. I'm not doing that. Zeus is the Ratchet Tubi. I don't have.
Amen. I agree. And I love Tubi. But you're absolutely right.
Like, I don't have any interest. Like, I understand that, he was in Creed 3. He was in the last Ant-Man movie, and he was in Loki. So he's had these roles that he could have built so much momentum off of, and he was. But these unfortunate allegations did come to light, and I say unfortunate because no matter what it is, he was proven innocent in a sense, and that is a Black man at the end of the day. But at the same time, you kind of have to be like, okay, this happened. What's the best way to get back? At least I don't think he can ever get back to A-list status again, but we can shoot for B+. That's still, good projects. It just depends on who you know, but I don't think this was the move to go if he wanted to stage as big of a comeback that people are predicting he wanted to.
So you got me thinking, because okay, so is the struggle for him getting to A-list due to the type of situation he was originally in? Like, I feel like we've witnessed actors or actresses being involved in controversy that has overcame and is like back to top. Like for me, and I know this is nothing like as far as, well, it is some form of domestic. So Will Smith, hell of an actor, right? Will Smith, you know exactly what I'm about to bring up. When he went up there and when he slapped,
but here's the thing. He did that in defense of his wife, and when it comes
that's the
to
thing.
I
feel like that's but we don't know if it was really defense. That's the thing. That's the whole debate. Was it for defense or was it?
Yeah, and like I understand that, but we all know like the pretty standard facts of what happened. Chris Rock said something. He said, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." Lupita thought that this was a joke in the background, but she didn't know what was happening. That was actually my favorite part, was her trying to figure out, was this part of the show or not? But and then he went up and slapped him. But here's also the thing, and you've kind of went into like a rabbit hill of mine. I can't stand Chris Rock. I love what he did for us in giving me one of my husband's, Tyler James Williams, notoriety that he deserves, because I've been in love with him since everybody hates Chris. But Chris Rock, I think I came to this kind of determination after the Good Hair special that he did. To me, Chris Rock is a black person for the white man. And I don't know how.
And you're not the first person to have heard that, by the way. So I'm not, you're not the person.
Exactly. I'm not the first person that said this, alluded to it, have said anything about it. So I've heard that a lot in like at least my immediate Black community, or at least like the stuff that I've seen online. So Will Smith, the Mr. Fresh Prince of the Bel-Air, doing that, no one was going to bat an eye at that. The only people that honestly did, if you take a look at it, were not people that looked like us. The people that looked like us were not that offended by what happened. And I think that's also because in looking at it, he was in defense of his wife. And in the Black community, that's something like, you defend your household, you defend your name. I don't think that, but also the thing is, how long had Will Smith been in the game, has had all these accolades, all of these things that he's done in the community, and then that happened? That little incident is a blip compared to Jonathan Majors still rising. He was nowhere near his peak, but he was definitely rising. That happening, it being such a big spectacle as it was, again, because of the domestic assault cases that happened with the Johnny Depp trial. And now that it's a Black man on the other side, he's going to be made an example of. I don't think that's something that he wasn't at a peak, and he hadn't done something as cemented in notoriety as your example with Will Smith doing. He didn't have that much of a community in support of him before it happened, where if you have all these people that grew up with the Fresh Prince, that listen to his music, that is watching, the reboot that actually doesn't suck, which is very rare for these times.
True.
You have all of this going on. You have, like, Will Smith has a kingdom. Jonathan Majors was trying to get in the kingdom's army. That's how kind of I see it, if I'm going to make a metaphor out of it. He was nowhere. He could not claim Will Smith status. He could barely really claim Soulja Boy status. I mean, I'm just saying, like if Will Smith is up here, we have Jonathan Majors that's trying to get there and is still trying to get at least halfway. There's nothing that cemented him in the Black community, whereas Will Smith has done. we could last the whole entire show.
You make some really great points. I'm a look, and I know we will go over time if I bring up Chris Rock again, because we kindly disagree as far as on the thought process, because I was pissed with Will as far and only because I think that it was a lot of there was a amount of black people that was frustrated with Will, because you gotta say Jada's always been kind of dicey for me. I've been a fan, but she's been dicey.
What I've heard is that Jada opens her mouth too much, and we don't need to know everything. And I think people just think that Jada is a chronic oversharer.
Well, I think she's I think she's kryptonite for Will Smith. I'll just say that, and then that'll be a whole nother like conversation. But as far as going back to Jonathan Majors, I do think as far as the relationship building with Zeus could hurt him, or it could help him, as well as help Zeus be more of a serious. But at the end of the day, Zeus has made their money off of nonsense, so that's why it's so hard to be like. But then on top of that, it's like, hey, look, my man said, look, I need someone to give me a chance, and obviously, I guess putting it on Tubi will be more of a, and he's probably attempted that too, but it probably would have been more of a struggle to get it out there. I look at Tubi as being the next big thing, just because people be falling asleep on Tubi. Tubi is, for one, it's free. They have original content. It is growing like a mug, in my opinion. I love it. But Zeus, on the other hand, I'm with you on that one, because they are subscription based, and I just think it won't garner so much success. I think it's like almost like an age of spin kind of thing. Every time someone gets in trouble with, or just controversy happens and they want to make a comeback, they play an autobiography or something. Because let's be honest, Will Smith, what was the first film that came out after the whole slap? Conception or something, when he was like playing some kind of like, it was some form of like civil rights or civil war kind of film. I'll look it up. I'll send you the link for it. But it was a movie that I'm like, okay, it was passion, it was heartbreak, it was okay, it had a cost to it. Like it wasn't an action film like Will normally does. So for him, for Jonathan Majors, okay, he's playing a man obsessed with becoming a championship bodybuilder. Okay, a black man, that's wanting to do all that he can to come up from rags to riches, in a sense. So okay, typical story. Everybody likes a good come up story. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I do think that it was interesting when Megan Good started to date, because I was back and forth. I'm like, is this the right PR stuff to do?
I don't believe it. I don't.
You don't believe the relationship?
No, it's stressing me out. It's stressing, like you think about it. Okay, Megan Good went from being with, we discussed who she was with before, to living the single life, living like I follow her. I remember like right after she's posting all of these outfits that I feel like she was just keeping in her closet until the day came that she could bust them out. Okay. And then next I see like a little like the tidbit, and it's like, oh, they've been seen together, and I'm like, it's got to be for a project. Like I was like, this is feeling very PR stuntish. Because how do you go from someone that used to be, like you said, like a glorified man of the cloth, to someone that is now facing allegations of assault and everything, that and the third, and is losing all of this? Like, I'm not saying that Megan Good was like, it's been a while, at least to me, since she's been A-list. It's been a while. But I feel like it was like a move that both of their teams like thought was good, and the reception was so lackluster. But also, if you take a look at some like of the interviews that they've done since they've been together, where they've been on red carpets and stuff, he looks so irritated anytime she gets any kind of attention, and it's not on him. And that's why I'm like, this seems to be so stunted.
I feel as though when you saw her jump on Michael Ealy, you're like, see, that's what I've been talking about the whole time.
And everyone, but the thing is, like, even when that happened, you could see his reaction, and it's just like this is reading as, you're supposed to be with me, shining a light on me so that I can look better. Why is he attention on you right now? And that just makes me not trust him. Also, his nostrils are big, and I don't know.
You don't like big nostrils? That is hilarious. Oh, Winter,
it just always looks like he smelled something bad, but also but his look is always just like why do you always look mad Or because when you're upset or you're angry, you flare your nostrils. So his nostrils always being flared to me just screams he has anger issues. I feel judged right now.
Wow. So first of all, we've gone to talking about people potentially getting fat shamed. Now she is over here big nostril shaming. You are big nostril shaming, folks. Yep. Look, I thought she froze on me. No, she's
I
big
say
nostrils.
that in a way. I say that in a way like I don't trust him, because combine that with him always looking mad and irritated, that screams anger issues to me. Why are your nostrils always flared?
That is so okay. That's gonna be another conversation. Look, we got about 10 minutes, a little less than 10 minutes. I really want to get your thoughts on okay, it's a new year, new administration, right? Trump administration, the Don is back in the White House. I know it's a struggle for me too. It's a huge struggle for me. He has since then has been doing what he said he was gonna do. First thing he did, executive order on DEI. Right, so that means corporations that initially had diversity and equity and inclusion programs can we done with it. We gonna hire people on merit and not on skin color, this and the other, which I think is complete BS. So I want to your first what was your reaction since the whole administration? What has been your going on in your mind when?
You want to know like my reaction every time I see a post that he's done something?
Keep it clean, Win.
No, it's clean. It's clean. This is my reaction every time. So say someone's posted something, he's done whatever. I'm just like, okay. Because at the end of like, okay. Because here is my giant thing. And it's something that I've always thought. The person that screams the loudest, look at them the hardest. Because why does pronouns in my email signature bother you? It's like why does it bother you? Like, it's not assaulting you, it didn't rob you, it didn't sleep with your wife. Why is it bothering you so hard that she, her is in my bio?
Likewise, why does equal opportunity for individuals, and not just black, because I feel as though like him specifically, he emphasized DEI as opportunities only for black people, but it's opportunities for women, minorities, you name it, anybody, disabled. And everybody, right? Disabled, you name it, everybody. And it's about equal opportunity. It's nothing wrong with opportunity, folks. He thinks they're like, oh, they're just hiring them because they're black, they're somebody of color. And now look, I mean, he literally recently had blamed the crash that happened in DC, the plane crash, due to DEI. Like, it's just
he blamed Biden and DEI, and it's like, first off, Biden is at home with the mint julep sitting in front of a fireplace, big chilling. He is not worried about any, like, is he worried? Yes, he's a former president of the United States.
Maybe some warm prune juice. I don't know if them juleps, you gotta be careful, because at his age that thing might sit a little funny on his stomach. I'm sorry, Joe. Sorry, that was just a little joke. I'm sorry.
But my thing is like you took something that was so fatal and still made it about you, whereas since then there has been another commercial plane crash. There has been a plane today, it was United Airlines that caught fire today, right during takeoff. People aren't realizing that, the reason why your groceries are so high, and he's saying he's going to take down the price of eggs, is because he is the reason why they're more expensive in the first place. Took away all of these things and all of these stipulations, regulations from the FDA and other organizations. We have now almost an epidemic of bird flu, which is making the price of eggs go up. We are having all of these issues when it comes to commercial flights and aircraft because of everything that happened with air traffic control and their entities. Do we not realize that you elected the cause of the effect?
All right, now preach win.
But my thing is like I did what I could do. I voted the way that I felt like everyone should if we stood any kind of fighting chance. I made sure that I helped people stay informed. If people needed to go to the polls, I did that. I early voted. I did what I could do, and now it's just let's sit back and let you. I hope, literally, as I saw the election results, the only thing that went through my mind is I hope you guys got everything you voted for, because That's not what I voted for. I voted for, the ability to be able to buy a house, which not able to do now. I voted for the ability for my friends to be able to start their families, which they feel that it's unsafe to do now because of everything that's coming out. I voted for my close friends not having to move to Canada because I have friends that are transgender, friends that are in the alphabet mafia, as I affectionately call us. Like, I have friends that are scared. I was called the N-word for the very first time with a hard R, literally the day that he was elected the first time, and I was just in college.
Wow.
So seeing it repeated, and that was just me sitting, at a traffic light, my windows rolled down because it was warm, and a guy looking at me in a pickup truck next to me and just shouting the word at me. No provocation, nothing happened. I hate that this is the reality that I live in, and I keep saying that I really think that this is a simulation. Like, there can't be any possible way. But every time I go to sleep and I wake up, I'm still in the same universe. Listen, Marvel alternate universes, we need to discover how they did that, because there has to be an AU where Kamala won and we aren't faced with everything that we are. But I mean, anything that I keep seeing that's posted about him that he's done, I'm just like, what's next? And how do I make it through the 4 years?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I know, let me see. Looks like we got about 3 minutes left into the show. Will you be boycotting?
I'm a yapper. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. I love that. I love that. Will you be boycotting any of the selected corporations like Amazon, Walmart, Target? I know Amanda Steeles already said, hey, look, I'm done with Meta. I'm leaving the platform. She has left the platform. And she is done with Walmart, Starbucks, all these other corporations. A lot of folks are boycotting Target. I know Tabitha Brown, another popular influencer, she is asking people to not boycott, and that'll be another conversation for another time between us. But will you be boycotting any of the corporations that ended their DEI programs?
And this is probably very controversial because I have a lot of friends in my circle that are they're huge political advocates. They keep their nose in the news, everything, that's going on overseas. They are huge voices. My thing is, especially when it comes to certain like, tax brackets, income, there are people that can afford the luxury of boycotting these conglomerate companies. I can't really say that I will go across the street to Harris Teeter or Kroger to get, a pack of steaks for dinner, and theirs cost $36. I go to, Walmart and it costs $20. I don't have that luxury. I can't. And that's not to say, you cannot go to Walmart. You cannot go to Target. Please show me a better price alternative. And that sucks to say, but at the end of the day, my wallet's my wallet. And if I can afford something at Walmart, Alabay, affording it at Kroger for 1.5 times the mock-up, then that's unfortunately what happens. But at the same time, it's just like boycotting isn't all we can do. And I don't like that people think that that's the only thing, the biggest thing. It can be if it's done strategically and it's done, with a plan and, you speaking to everyone. Like if it could be a nationwide thing and you could honestly say that no one is going to buy from Target for the next week, but that's not the American people, and that's not what's going to happen. It's not something that we can do with a plan that's going to involve, 97% of the human population.
Yeah.
When that's something that people feel that they can do and want to do, then they should.
Real quickly, we're like seconds away from ending. How can people continue to follow you? And you're not going to be a stranger to this show, but how can people follow you and keep in touch with you?
Well, if you want to see my face more and hear all of my random yappings, it's going to be win_storm on Instagram. That's WYN_storm. And I post every day. So follow me if you want. And if you don't, just tell someone else to, because numbers are great.
Awesome. Well, look, my friends, I hope you enjoyed another great convo. Win, don't go anywhere. Thank you so much. My friends, I hope you enjoyed this great conversation on the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, I will see you next time, my friends. I'm out.